You have been formed of three parts: body, breath, and mind. Of these, the first two are yours, insofar as they are only in your care. The third alone is truly yours. The body ages, but the mind decides how visibly. Some people move through the decades untouched, their composure unbroken by the weight of time. They do not chase youth. They sustain it through control. The Stoic understands that the rhythm of thought determines the rhythm of life. A calm mind orders the body, and an ordered body resists decay. The secret is not found in appearance, but in equilibrium. This lecture reveals the 9 hidden reasons why certain people appear untouched by age. It is not illusion, but evidence of inner order. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The calm face of restraint. The measure of youth is not found in the face, but in the state of composure behind it. Age touches everyone, yet it cannot claim the one who governs their inner climate. The Stoic understood this truth centuries before medicine could name stress or psychology could define calm. The body reflects the command of the mind. The one who walks through the world without agitation preserves vitality in motion. Their features remain ordered because their thoughts remain disciplined. The calm face of restraint is the first hidden reason. The mind trained to endure quietly sends no sudden shocks through the nervous system. Every ungoverned reaction carves itself into the muscles. Anger sets the jaw. Worry tightens the brow. Fear hollows the eyes. The Stoic who refuses indulgence in emotion does not freeze their humanity. They refine it. Serenity molds the flesh with symmetry. When Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, he was describing this exact phenomenon, the psychological pigment that colors expression. Non-attachment is the second hidden reason. The weightless mind appears light in body. Those who cling to possessions, appearances, and judgments burden themselves with invisible heaviness. Detachment releases that pressure. A person who can lose without despair and gain without arrogance carries an aura of ease. Their eyes do not chase or plead. Their shoulders are not pulled by the gravity of desire. In detachment, the Stoic walks as though time cannot take anything essential from them, and this invulnerability reads as youth. Simplicity is the third hidden reason. Complexity accelerates decay because it multiplies friction. The Stoic life removes the unnecessary. Excess noise, excess indulgence, excess drama, all drain the nervous system. The disciplined person practices subtraction. They eat cleanly, think cleanly, and speak cleanly. The absence of clutter produces not emptiness, but clarity, and clarity sustains life force. A minimalist rhythm of being preserves energy that would otherwise dissolve in chaos. Routine forms the fourth hidden reason. Order stabilizes the body's chemistry. The disciplined person rises at a consistent hour, moves through repetition, rests deliberately, and honors the body as a partner to the mind. Consistency creates harmony between the internal clock and the natural world. When the Stoic rises with purpose and sleeps without regret, they synchronize with the rhythm of existence itself. This synchronization keeps the body in tune with nature's timing, the ultimate medicine for aging. Equanimity reveals the fifth hidden reason. Breath mirrors thought. When the mind is erratic, the breath shortens. When the spirit is steady, the breath deepens. Those who cultivate calm respiration control the entire orchestra of the body. Their heartbeat slows, their voice steadies, their blood pressure aligns with peace. The Stoic's breath becomes a visible signature of discipline. Even under tension, they remain composed, and that composure manifests externally as poise. a youthful presence that does not tremble under pressure. The sixth hidden reason lies in the mind that refuses decay. The Stoic never allows mental rust. They study, reflect, and remain observant. Curiosity is an elixir. The person who continues to question, learn, and contemplate renews neural vitality. Their intellect sharpens instead of dulling with the years. Wisdom is often mistaken for age, yet in truth, it sustains youth by keeping the mind alert. Seneca taught that learning refines the spirit. The Stoic keeps learning, and therefore keeps glowing. Purpose is the seventh hidden reason. To live without direction is to drift into fatigue. Meaning fuels the body with invisible voltage. A person who wakes with a reason to move, to build, to contribute, radiates vitality that cannot be faked. The body responds to purpose by aligning its systems toward creation rather than decay. Energy follows intention. Those who possess a clear aim preserve strength because they know what their strength is for. Acceptance is the eighth hidden reason. To resist the inevitable is to live in constant battle with reality. Resistance drains life faster than time. Acceptance aligns the mind with truth. The Stoic does not waste energy lamenting the passage of years. They inhabit the moment fully, meeting change with grace. Their peace with impermanence produces a visible calm. The person who accepts their stage of life glows with the rare beauty of someone untorn by conflict. The final hidden reason is gratitude. It is the softest yet most powerful expression of vitality. Gratitude harmonizes perception, emotion, and physiology. The thankful heart lowers stress hormones, steadies blood flow, and brightens the gaze. Gratitude transforms every breath into affirmation. Marcus Aurelius advised himself each morning to remember the privilege of being alive, to breathe, to think, to love. That awareness alone sustains a radiance that time cannot dim. These 9 elements do not act separately. They weave together into the Stoic's appearance, the visible serenity of an inner fortress. While others chase youth through vanity, the disciplined mind achieves it through order. The Stoic looks younger because their soul does not riot against existence. Their peace writes itself upon their features. Their restraint keeps the body untensed, their clarity keeps the eyes bright, and their acceptance keeps the spirit light. To look young is not an accident of genetics. It is a reflection of equilibrium, the face of a life mastered from within. Chapter 2. The lightness of non-attachment. To live unburdened is to age without heaviness. The one who releases the grip of possession walks as if gravity has been reduced. Their body follows the condition of their mind. Every attachment adds invisible weight, pressing down on posture, breath, and tone of voice. The Stoic who loosens their hold on outcomes does not float through life aimlessly. They move through it freely. This lightness alters their energy field, the aura that others interpret as youth. It is not deception or illusion, but the direct result of interior liberation. The modern mind is saturated with ownership. It measures worth through accumulation, objects, recognition, social validation. Each possession ties the self to external forces. The more these ties multiply, the more tension accumulates beneath the surface. A Stoic understands that tension is corrosion. The inner dialogue of clinging, wanting, defending, and comparing erodes vitality. To look younger than one's years is to master the art of release. When Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants," he was describing a physiological truth as much as a philosophical one. Desire triggers the same systems of stress as danger. The heart accelerates, the breath shortens, the body braces for acquisition or loss. A person trapped in craving lives in perpetual fight or flight. Their face carries the signature of pursuit. The Stoic escapes this loop through discipline of will. They neutralize craving by refining focus toward what is under control, their effort, their perspective, their attitude. Non-attachment is not withdrawal, it is clarity. The Stoic still loves, works and builds, yet they do so without making these acts chains around the soul. Their composure during loss is not indifference but understanding. They know the impermanence of all things. Every form changes, every possession passes through many hands, every status dissolves. Acceptance of this law lightens the spirit. The face of such a person is calm, not because they deny emotion, but because they have made peace with transience. The body reflects the ease of the mind. Those who carry resentment stoop forward. Those who cling to grudges breathe shallowly. Those who fixate on envy furrow their expression even in rest. The Stoics' practice of detachment unwinds these physical reflexes. Their posture opens, their eyes soften, their breath deepens into rhythm. This physiological transformation is what others recognize as vitality. They do not realize they are seeing philosophy made flesh. Non-attachment protects time. A person entangled in endless comparison loses hours in imaginary battles. They age through the exhaustion of invisible struggle. The Stoic guards time as sacred. They refuse to compete in the games of vanity. Their attention remains unfragmented, and that unified attention keeps the nervous system aligned. The calmness of a focused life produces youth, because the mind is not scattered across meaningless fronts. Attachment to identity ages the fastest. When someone defines themselves through image, title, or approval, they live in constant maintenance. They must preserve what the world expects. This anxiety etches itself onto their body. The Stoic defines identity internally. Their worth is self-contained. The absence of external validation calms the heartbeat of the ego. That calmness radiates as unshakable presence, a quality mistaken for confidence, but rooted in inner silence. Those who detach from comparison move differently. Their gestures lose sharpness, their speech slows into precision, their eyes stop scanning for approval. Detachment refines movement into economy. Nothing wasted, nothing frantic. This economy is youth itself. The child moves freely because it is not yet self-conscious. The Stoic regains that freedom through discipline. They are alert but unguarded, awake but unstrained. Non-attachment also reshapes relationships. The one who does not cling attracts peace. They allow others to exist without control. Their love matures into respect for freedom. This maturity prevents emotional turbulence, the unseen force that burns through energy reserves. The Stoic loves deeply but without dependency. Their affection nourishes instead of drains. This composure extends lifespan because the heart remains stable even under emotional weather. Material detachment creates order. The fewer possessions one must maintain, the less background noise occupies the mind. Simplicity lowers cognitive demand. The Stoic surroundings reflect deliberate restraint, functional, clean, unburdened by excess. This environment reinforces mental stillness. Each uncluttered surface becomes a mirror for an uncluttered mind. The harmony between inner and outer order preserves equilibrium, and equilibrium sustains the vitality that imitates youth. Financial detachment produces a similar effect. Fear of loss accelerates aging through constant cortisol release. The Stoic views wealth as a tool, not an identity. They use money, they do not worship it. Their stability arises from skill, patience, and moderation. This philosophy stabilizes the heartbeat even during uncertainty. The lack of panic under economic pressure makes them appear grounded beyond their years. Their calm under volatility reads as timeless composure. Non-attachment to praise protects authenticity. The one who depends on approval must constantly perform. This performance depletes the soul. The Stoic seeks alignment with virtue rather than reputation. Praise is received without intoxication, criticism without collapse. That steadiness keeps emotional chemistry balanced. While others age through oscillation between elation and despair, the Stoic remains even, conserving inner resources. Their youth is sustained by consistency. Attachment to control ages through frustration. The world resists dominance. The Stoic understands the boundary of influence. They exert mastery within themselves and yield beyond that perimeter. This acceptance dissolves futile tension. A person obsessed with control is in endless conflict with chance. The Stoic harmonizes with fate, guided by Cleanthes's words. Fate guides the willing and drags the unwilling. The willing flow with less resistance, preserving strength. Emotional detachment from trivial offense renews expression. Those who take everything personally harden their features in perpetual defense. The Stoic absorbs insult with composure. They view it as noise unworthy of reaction. This habit prevents the chemical cascade of anger, protecting heart and skin alike. They remain relaxed where others tighten. That physical relaxation is indistinguishable from youth. Non-attachment also frees creativity. When the mind is not bound by fear of judgment, ideas flow naturally. The Stoic creates from alignment, not for applause. The absence of desperation gives their work purity. Creation under freedom releases dopamine instead of cortisol. This neurochemical distinction sustains motivation without exhaustion. Their productive calm becomes visible energy, the vibrancy of someone untouched by chaos. Attachment to nostalgia quietly exhausts the soul. Those who cling to the past resist the present and dread the future. The Stoic views time as a continuum of opportunity. Each day is self-contained. They do not chase youth through memory. They embody renewal through awareness. This focus anchors them in the now, where vitality exists. The person who lives in the present does not decay. They adapt. Detachment trains the face to rest. Expressions become measured instead of reactive. The micro-tensions that accumulate through worry disappear. Observers interpret this steadiness as beauty, though it is discipline disguised as peace. The Stoic face reveals what constant restraint can sculpt: serenity without effort, elegance without indulgence. Freedom from social comparison gives rise to internal rhythm. The modern mind races to keep pace with perception. Every success of another becomes an implied failure of the self. The Stoic moves independently. Their rhythm belongs to purpose, not performance. Independence of tempo slows perceived aging because stress no longer dictates motion. The nervous system synchronizes with their chosen cadence. Non-attachment guards against boredom. The one who needs stimulation to feel alive burns quickly through attention. The Stoic finds contentment in stillness. They do not seek escape because they are present where they stand. This capacity for quiet pleasure resets the body's equilibrium. Boredom disappears, and with it, the frantic energy that accelerates exhaustion. Serenity maintains cellular harmony. The lightness of detachment transforms speech. The Stoic speaks less, but each word carries weight. Silence between sentences becomes space for thought rather than discomfort. The absence of verbal excess conserves energy. The listener perceives youth through patience, the rare patience of one who does not chase the next moment. Their calm voice suggests strength, Their pauses command attention without force. Non-attachment extends to self-image. Vanity ages quickly because it is rooted in fear. The Stoic views the body as an instrument, not an idol. They maintain it with respect, not obsession. This perspective eliminates the neurotic loop of comparison. Care becomes ritual instead of compulsion. The result is effortless appearance, health maintained through discipline, not desperation. Freedom from emotional extremes stabilizes physiology. Those who oscillate between excitement and despair wear down their system. The Stoics' moderation keeps hormonal balance steady. They experience emotion fully, yet proportionally. Their laughter does not exhaust. Their sadness does not linger. Such regulation keeps the biological rhythm young. Energy flows evenly instead of in spikes and crashes. Non-attachment purifies perception. When the mind is not crowded by preference, it sees clearly. Beauty becomes visible in ordinary things. This constant discovery reawakens wonder. Wonder rejuvenates because it renews attention. The Stoic does not age in spirit because they never lose the ability to see freshly. Their gaze holds curiosity rather than cynicism, and that curiosity lights the eyes. Detachment from gossip and judgment preserves moral energy. To criticize is to waste vitality on illusions. The Stoic redirects attention inward. They practice the art of improvement rather than commentary. This self-focus consolidates willpower. A life without gossip is a life of concentrated presence. That concentration radiates as self-assurance, the demeanor of one immune to distraction. The Stoics' relationship with time itself is detached. They neither rush nor delay. Each moment is met fully, completed cleanly, and released. This mastery of temporal presence eliminates chronic stress. The absence of hurry slows perception of aging. The body's rhythm matches the pace of nature, unforced, steady, durable. Non-attachment also redefines success. External markers lose power. The Stoic measures success by internal metrics: consistency, virtue, clarity. Freed from societal pressure, they operate under their own law. That autonomy eliminates chronic tension. Their achievements come from precision, not competition, and the purity of that effort gives them longevity both in mind and body. Freedom from fear of loss deepens joy. When one no longer fears endings, every experience becomes richer. Gratitude intensifies because nothing is taken for granted. The Stoic enjoys fully without clutching. This paradox of total engagement without dependency creates radiance. Observers perceive it as calm confidence, unaware that it is acceptance in motion. The practice of letting go strengthens the nervous system. Each surrender trains resilience. The body learns that safety does not depend on control. This neurobiological education reduces reactivity. The person who can release what they love without collapse develops unbreakable composure. Such composure protects against the physiological signatures of chronic anxiety. The result is longevity through adaptation. Detachment allows one to handle change with elegance. The aging process itself becomes a teacher, not a threat. The Stoic studies each stage of life with curiosity. They adapt without self-pity. The absence of complaint maintains dignity, and dignity preserves grace. When life's changes are met with curiosity instead of resistance, the person appears timeless. Non-attachment manifests in physical rhythm. Movement becomes deliberate, not frantic. The way the Stoic sits, walks, and gestures follows an inner tempo, guided by awareness. This slow efficiency resembles the posture of dancers or martial artists. Their body wastes no effort, and energy recirculates instead of dissipating. Efficiency is youth, the refinement of force into grace. A detached mind recovers faster from stress. Recovery is the hidden engine of longevity. The Stoics' ability to release past tension allows true rest. They sleep deeply because they are not haunted by regret or obsession. Each morning begins fresh, not as continuation of previous turmoil. This psychological reset rejuvenates appearance. The one who forgives quickly and moves on carries less fatigue in the face. Non-attachment dismantles fear of judgment in aging itself. The Stoic does not attempt to disguise time, they embody harmony with it. Their appearance reflects confidence in natural progression. This lack of resistance produces paradoxical vitality. They age elegantly because they do not resist aging. Acceptance transforms the inevitable into aesthetic composure. The lightness of detachment also nourishes humor. Those who take themselves too seriously drain the spirit. The Stoic laughs without cruelty, smiles without performance. Humor under restraint refreshes the mind, oxygenates the body, and signals emotional intelligence. The laughter of composure is restorative. It suggests internal security, a rare attribute that radiates ageless charm. Freedom from addiction completes the architecture of detachment. Whether to substances, attention, or emotion, dependency erodes freedom. The Stoic trains moderation through awareness of impulse. By mastering desire, they maintain balance in the body's chemistry. Absence of addiction restores natural cycles of dopamine and rest. Their mood stabilizes, their skin clears, their energy endures. Discipline translates directly into physical youth. Non-attachment cultivates spiritual clarity. When distractions fall away, the essence of consciousness brightens. The Stoic feels continuity with nature rather than isolation. This unity erases existential stress. The calm of belonging ripples through physiology as deep relaxation. That depth of peace is visible. It shapes presence into grace. The one who detaches from approval lives without disguise. Authenticity relaxes the system. The mind no longer calculates its appearance. The body no longer tenses under scrutiny. This naturalness is often mistaken for charisma. In truth, it is simply freedom from pretense. Charisma without effort is ageless. Non-attachment refines attention. The Stoic sees the essential in all things and discards the noise. This clarity prevents cognitive fatigue. A fatigued mind drags the body with it. A clear mind lifts it. The alignment of attention and intention sustains vitality like an inner current. Every act becomes efficient, every pause restorative. Those who master detachment embody invisible strength. They are unshaken by fortune, unchanged by public opinion, unscarred by disappointment. Their stillness absorbs turbulence without distortion. This inner resilience makes them appear eternal. People cannot identify the source of that vitality. It is the unseen discipline of letting go. The lightness of non-attachment is not absence, it is mastery. To detach is to hold the world with open hands, to engage without clinging, to love without fear. Such freedom preserves energy, sharpens perception, and illuminates presence. The Stoic who lives this way does not chase youth. They emanate it. Their timelessness is the byproduct of balance. Where others strain to appear young, they simply remain whole. Chapter 3. The Discipline of Simplicity. The elegance of simplicity is the purest expression of strength. A complicated life weakens resolve because it scatters focus. The Stoic lives through subtraction, not accumulation. They refine existence until only the essential remains. What is essential nourishes, what is excess decays. To look younger than one's years is to maintain this inner discipline. A mind unburdened by noise, a body aligned with order, and a spirit that moves with purpose through quiet. Simplicity begins with the refusal to live through reaction. The modern world rewards chaos disguised as productivity. People chase novelty, multitask endlessly, and confuse busyness with progress. The Stoic stands apart from this storm. They understand that attention is the currency of life. To waste attention on triviality is to spend one's youth in small pieces. Simplicity collects attention into a single beam. The focused mind generates calm, and calmness radiates as vitality. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less," he was not prescribing laziness but precision. To do less is to do what matters. Every unnecessary obligation drains the body. Every distraction fragments energy. Simplicity is not a retreat from life. It is mastery of engagement. The Stoic removes what dilutes their effort until only clarity remains. That clarity keeps the spirit young because it prevents depletion. Material simplicity shapes the environment into reflection of the inner self. A home without clutter mirrors a mind without agitation. Every object has a reason to exist. This order reduces sensory fatigue. The nervous system rests when the eye meets balance. In the spaces between possessions, the mind finds stillness. That stillness rejuvenates the body more effectively than luxury ever could. To live simply is to live cleanly, and cleanliness of form becomes clarity of being. Simplicity governs food as much as thought. The Stoic eats for function, not indulgence. Their meals are deliberate, balanced, and moderate. They understand that excess in pleasure dulls the will. The taste of restraint becomes more satisfying than excess. Simplicity in diet aligns with the Stoic pursuit of temperance. The body becomes efficient, digestion light, and sleep pure. From this harmony flows strength, endurance, and visible calm, the texture of vitality itself. Speech, too, must be simple. The Stoic uses words like tools, not ornaments. They speak directly, say little, and mean much. Empty talk drains energy. Deliberate speech preserves it. In this economy of language lies authority. People listen because silence surrounds each word like marble around a statue. Simplicity of speech protects the mind from entanglement in gossip and trivial argument, preserving emotional youth. The discipline of simplicity requires courage. Complexity flatters the ego. People hide insecurity behind sophistication. To be simple is to be unguarded, and to be unguarded requires strength. The Stoic embraces this exposure with composure. They do not decorate truth to make it comfortable. They allow clarity to stand naked, and that honesty keeps them young. The body relaxes when it no longer carries pretense. The face clears when it no longer hosts deception. Simplicity in schedule is an act of defiance against chaos. The Stoic structures the day with precision. Each hour serves a purpose: labor, reflection, movement, rest. This rhythm synchronizes body and mind into unified tempo. Disarray is fatigue, order is energy. The person who knows when to stop, when to begin, and when to pause conserves life. Simplicity replaces confusion with momentum, and momentum feels like youth. To be simple in possessions is not to be poor, it is to be rich in peace. The Stoic views ownership as stewardship. They keep what serves, release what distracts. This practice lightens the psyche. When the environment is free of clutter, awareness expands. The eyes see clearly. The mind thinks cleanly. Each item becomes a choice, not a burden. Simplicity frees the individual from maintenance of the unnecessary. Freedom extends lifespan because stress retreats from simplicity. Emotional simplicity is mastery in its rarest form. The Stoic does not fabricate drama. They do not inflate small discomforts into grand tragedies. They experience emotion directly, express it honestly, and then release it. No lingering resentment, no manufactured melancholy. This rhythm protects the body from the corrosive effects of prolonged stress. Emotional clarity reflects as calm demeanor, the soft glow mistaken for youth but born of discipline. Simplicity enhances perception. The mind, free from clutter, observes the world with detail and precision. The Stoic notices light, silence, and texture in moments others ignore. Awareness of small things expands appreciation of existence. This quiet awe nourishes joy. Joy softens the face, lifts the posture, and steadies the gaze. The simplicity of presence replaces the need for stimulation. In this stillness, time slows, vitality stretches. Simplicity demands elimination of unnecessary conflict. The Stoic does not engage in arguments without purpose. They do not defend vanity. They answer only when principle or justice requires it. This detachment from trivial confrontation prevents depletion. To argue constantly is to age the mind through fatigue. The Stoic remains silent in the face of provocation, and that silence is power contained, undiminished by chaos. Rest becomes sacred under simplicity. The Stoic values recovery as highly as action. They understand that rest is not inactivity, but preparation for precision. The body rebuilds, the mind clears, the will resets. Simplicity eliminates the guilt of stillness. In this balanced rhythm, rejuvenation becomes natural. The disciplined sleeper looks younger because their nights are free of agitation and their mornings begin with clarity. Simplicity governs thought selection. The Stoic refuses complexity in mental narration. They do not replay insults. They do not forecast catastrophe. Thought must serve peace or be dismissed. This gatekeeping of the mind protects it from corrosion. Mental simplicity restores innocence, the untroubled awareness of the present. From this innocence arises fresh perception, the very essence of youth. Physical simplicity follows mental clarity. The Stoics' movements are deliberate. Their gestures contain no waste. They sit straight, breathe evenly, and walk with rhythm. Simplicity translates to efficiency, and efficiency conserves energy. The body that moves without excess maintains vitality longer. The Stoic carries themselves with quiet grace, the product of awareness stripped of distraction. Simplicity also means transparency in intention. The Stoic acts without manipulation. Their motives align with virtue. They do not calculate endlessly how others perceive them. This transparency liberates them from exhaustion of performance. Authenticity restores vitality because it removes friction between thought and action. The aligned person ages slowly. Their inner and outer selves move in unison. Spiritual simplicity is the highest refinement. The Stoic does not clutter the soul with superstition or fear. They relate to nature directly through understanding. They recognize that life's rhythm cannot be owned, only harmonized with. This acceptance grants them inner quiet that no ritual can imitate. Spiritual simplicity removes anxiety about meaning. The soul at peace with itself radiates serenity that outlasts beauty. Economic simplicity protects independence. The Stoic manages resources without extravagance. They spend mindfully, save consistently, and avoid waste. This discipline prevents the anxiety that corrodes many in pursuit of status. Freedom from financial chaos creates composure. Composure reflects physically as calm expression. The unhurried, self-reliant individual exudes timeless strength. Simplicity restores time to reflection. The Stoic keeps moments of silence each day to examine life. Reflection sharpens awareness of priorities. Through reflection, complexity dissolves. Decisions become effortless because they align with principle. The absence of inner conflict preserves energy for creation. Simplicity of thought transforms contemplation into clarity, a visible calm that outlives youth. The disciplined simplicity of the Stoic transforms perception of aging itself. The simple life has no contradiction to fight against. Each year adds refinement, not decay. The face of the disciplined person shows neither bitterness nor desperation. It shows peace. And peace resembles youth because it is untouched by turmoil. The Stoic does not try to appear young. They simply live with such order that time cannot distort their essence. Simplicity is an art of subtraction, not absence. It removes what dulls brilliance until only essence remains. In this refinement, the Stoic becomes radiant without ornament. Their youthfulness is not cosmetic, it is structural. The mind free of clutter, the body disciplined, the spirit composed. These are the elements that defy time. To live simply is to live fully, for nothing essential is lost when nothing unnecessary is kept. Chapter 4. The integrity of routine. Discipline is the architecture of youth. Where chaos erodes the body through exhaustion, order restores it through rhythm. The Stoic understands that a life governed by pattern aligns with the pulse of nature itself. Routine is not confinement, it is liberation from indecision. Each repeated act becomes a declaration of self-command. The one who honors the same hours daily, who moves, eats, and rests within a steady rhythm, shields themselves from the disintegration of disorder. Routine is the silent guardian of vitality. When the body knows what to expect, it operates in harmony. The nervous system stabilizes, the hormones balance, and the heart synchronizes to a consistent tempo. Modern lives fracture under unpredictability, irregular sleep, erratic meals, impulsive habits. The Stoic rejects this fragmentation. Their discipline transforms ordinary cycles into sacred structure. In that structure, the body thrives. The predictable pattern becomes a sanctuary of strength. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the day begins not with complaint, but with duty. The first thoughts upon waking shape the entire current of being. The Stoic rises with precision, not passion. They know that how one begins the day decides how the mind will move through it. Routine anchors this initiation. Each morning ritual, breath, reflection, movement, reclaims command over the mind before the world intrudes. Consistency in this awakening keeps the spirit young because it never drifts into chaos. Repetition, when guided by intention, becomes transformation. The Stoic does not chase novelty, they refine habit. Each act performed with awareness deepens skill and steadies emotion. Through daily repetition, they sculpt composure into muscle memory. The same gestures of discipline, writing, walking, meditating, etch strength into the nervous system. What others call routine boredom, the Stoic experiences as quiet mastery. Their life is a temple of repeated excellence. The integrity of routine lies in its constancy. Discipline without deviation teaches the mind endurance. Each time one acts despite fatigue, the will strengthens. The Stoic honors the schedule as a pact between self and purpose. They do not wait for motivation is unstable. They act from principle. This reliability shields the mind from doubt. To know what must be done each day is to live without confusion. Certainty of action calms the spirit, and calmness slows time's erosion. Sleep is the cornerstone of this discipline. The Stoic respects rest as duty, not indulgence. They end the day with reflection, release, and gratitude, never dragging unfinished chaos into night. In sleep, the body repairs the consequences of the day's effort. Those who honor this rhythm awaken renewed, while those who ignore it carry fatigue into the next sunrise. Rested clarity keeps the eyes bright and the mind decisive, the unmistakable marks of youth. The disciplined body becomes a clock of its own. It eats when nourished, not when bored. It trains through focus, not compulsion. The Stoic views exercise as ritual precision. Movement sharpens awareness. Strength is built not through aggression, but through steadiness. Each repetition, each controlled breath, becomes a dialogue between will and form. This control extends youth far beyond appearance. It refines endurance itself. Routine also governs thought. The Stoic practices mental hygiene with daily examination. In the quiet of each evening, they review their actions without self-pity or pride. This reflection resets the compass of virtue. By repeating this process, they prevent drift into moral laziness. The disciplined mind, constantly recalibrated, remains alert. Mental order radiates into physical bearing. Posture reflects conscience. Consistency protects against emotional volatility. The one whose days are ordered cannot be easily shaken. Routine keeps emotion within structure. The Stoic rises at the same hour whether sorrow or joy visits. They do not surrender to mood. Their schedule is an anchor against the tide of circumstance. Over years, this steadiness imprints serenity on their face. Calm becomes their resting expression, confidence their atmosphere. The integrity of routine extends into speech and silence. The Stoic reserves time for quiet, knowing that stillness is fuel for reason. Periods of silence cleanse thought, much as fasting cleanses the body. In these intervals, clarity strengthens. When they speak again, their words carry precision. Silence framed by discipline renews the voice. Those who live chaotically lose eloquence. Those who keep silence deliberately speak with timeless gravity. Routine restores relationship with time. The Stoic measures life not in years, but in cycles of purpose. Each completed pattern marks mastery, not decay. They live as craftsmen, shaping their hours into symmetry. This approach transforms aging into artistry. Repetition no longer feels like decline, but refinement. Their constancy mirrors the movement of celestial bodies, predictable, serene, ageless. Work becomes sacred under discipline. The Stoic commits fully during appointed hours, withdrawing fully when complete. This separation between labor and rest preserves sanity. The absence of fragmentation guards focus. Burnout comes to those who blur boundaries. The disciplined worker never burns. They glow steadily, efficient and calm. Their productivity appears effortless because their energy moves within clear channels. Routine shields against distraction. In the world of noise, the Stoic schedule is armor. Predictability limits intrusion. They decide once, and decision fatigue disappears. This constancy liberates creativity. The mind, no longer burdened by trivial choice, finds freedom in order. Paradoxically, structure gives space to imagination. The Stoics' ideas grow in rhythm, nurtured by repetition. Integrity in routine demands moderation. Extremes, even of discipline, destroy balance. The Stoic tempers structure with adaptability. They bend without breaking. When life shifts, they adjust without losing rhythm. Flexibility preserves the living pulse of order. Rigidity belongs to pride. Harmony belongs to wisdom. True routine flows like water along the shape of purpose. Rituals within the day create meaning. The morning stretch, the evening reflection, the consistent meal, each act becomes symbolic of self-respect. The Stoic does not depend on luxury to feel centered. Repetition itself becomes comfort. Predictability gives life texture, like the rhythm of the seasons. The repetition of virtue replaces the chaos of desire. Such order sustains peace. and peace slows the visible marks of age. Routine purifies will. Each repeated act strengthens decision. To persist through monotony teaches mastery over impulse. Those who live by routine learn endurance of focus. They no longer seek excitement, they seek refinement. This subtle persistence distinguishes the disciplined from the distracted. Endurance preserves youth by conserving energy that others waste on instability. Morning light holds sacred power for the Stoic. To greet dawn deliberately is to begin with alignment. The early hours belong to clarity. The air is still, the world unformed, and in that silence, the mind imprints intention upon the day. Routine ensures one meets this hour, unhurried and awake. Those who own the morning command the day, and those who command the day command their life. Mastery over morning is mastery over aging. Routine extends into thought boundaries. The Stoic avoids excess stimulation, news, gossip, idle speculation. They curate the inputs of mind as carefully as food. Each mental habit compounds through years, shaping character and expression. Simplicity of intake equals clarity of being. The controlled environment of thought becomes a sanctuary from the entropy of society. From that sanctuary flows an energy that makes the disciplined appear untouched by chaos. Even leisure follows purpose under discipline. The Stoic rests to restore, not to escape. They choose activities that nourish rather than numb. Reading, contemplation, quiet walks, these replenish energy without corrupting it. Leisure under awareness maintains balance between effort and recovery. The Stoic understands that unstructured pleasure quickly turns to disorder. Their peace comes from rhythm, not indulgence. Routine reflects integrity because it demands truth. Excuses cannot survive within structure. The schedule exposes inconsistency, revealing whether principles are lived or merely spoken. This accountability keeps the Stoic honest. Each day either fulfills its promise or reveals its weakness. In this continuous mirror, improvement becomes inevitable. Self-awareness under discipline keeps the mind young because it never stops learning. Physical rituals intertwine with moral ones. The Stoic trains not to display strength, but to maintain it for service of reason. Every repetition is devotion to stability. The daily act of care, stretching, walking, meditating, is the visible embodiment of philosophy. Virtue becomes tangible through consistency. The body becomes a testament to order, the skin a record of restraint. Routine creates the rhythm of longevity. The heart beats in pattern, the lungs breathe in measure, and the disciplined life mirrors these cycles. Disorder introduces friction that shortens vitality. The Stoic maintains momentum through regularity. This steady pulse through days, months, and years becomes a quiet defiance against decline. To live rhythmically is to live long. The integrity of routine refines presence. The disciplined individual enters each space composed, neither hurried nor idle. Their timing feels exact, their movements economical. Others sense this balance without understanding its source. Routine makes elegance unconscious. Habitual order becomes charisma in motion. Presence shaped by structure feels eternal because it mirrors nature's rhythm. Routine aligns the human spirit with the cosmos. The Stoic follows natural law, the rise and fall of light, the alternation of effort and rest, the breathing of the world itself. In this alignment lies serenity. A person synchronized with the cycles of existence does not decay in the same way as one at war with them. Their health, demeanor, and clarity harmonize with the seasons. Time becomes companion, not enemy. In the end, the integrity of routine is integrity of being. It unites thought, action, and rhythm into one motion. The Stoic lives not as fragments, but as continuum. Their days connect like links of unbroken chain, each strong, each deliberate. Within that chain lies the secret of youth, the power of consistency. While the undisciplined drift into exhaustion, the Stoics' ordered life remains luminous, precise, and enduring. To live by routine is to live in harmony with eternity. Chapter 5. The Breath of Equanimity. Breath is the bridge between mind and matter. It is the rhythm that binds consciousness to the body, the invisible pulse of self-control. The Stoics saw in breath a direct path to mastery. To govern the breath is to govern emotion. To steady respiration is to steady thought. A chaotic mind distorts breathing, and a distorted breath agitates the mind. The disciplined person restores the cycle through awareness. Each calm breath reclaims sovereignty over the nervous system. Within this simple act lies the quiet art of equanimity. The untrained live in shallow breathing, their chests rising quickly under unseen tension. Their lives mirror this turbulence, rushed, anxious, unanchored. The Stoic breathes slowly, deeply, with deliberate control. Their lungs expand as their mind expands. The tempo of respiration dictates the tempo of existence. A slow breath is a silent command to the body to remain unshaken. Through breath, the Stoic practices composure in real time, minute by minute, heartbeat by heartbeat. Equanimity is not indifference, it is balance under pressure. The breath makes this balance physical. When challenges arise, the untrained tighten and gasp. The Stoic exhales. That release is the signal of mastery. The world may roar, but their breathing remains measured. Their calm presence influences those nearby, a still center within turmoil. This physiological stability becomes visible, translating into youthfulness of appearance and clarity of voice. Marcus Aurelius wrote that one must be like the rock against which the waves crash, unmoved and still. Breath is the internal version of that rock. It holds the mind steady amid the tides of emotion. To cultivate this stability is to age differently. Those who live in stress live in contraction. The Stoic, by breathing freely, lives in expansion. Expansion keeps the spirit fluid and the body supple. In the calm of breath, one feels time slow down. To master breath is to master reaction. Anger, fear, and haste cannot survive where breath is steady. The Stoic, when confronted by insult or crisis, does not rush to speech or impulse. They draw breath through the nose, let the air fill the abdomen, and only then respond. This pause changes everything. The nervous system reclaims order. The mind regains perspective. Such micro moments of control shape an entire life of composure. The quality of breath dictates the quality of perception. When one breathes shallowly, the senses narrow. When one breathes fully, awareness expands. The Stoic uses breath as the foundation of mindfulness. Each inhalation reminds them of presence, each exhalation of impermanence. They live in the awareness that every breath could be the last, and therefore each one must be deliberate. This awareness keeps them alert yet peaceful, grounded yet unafraid. Breath also anchors posture. The one who breathes correctly stands naturally upright. The chest opens, the shoulders lower, the spine aligns. This posture projects strength without tension. The Stoic's physical bearing is calm and centered, radiating vitality. Their balance of breath and stance gives the impression of agelessness. The body, well oxygenated and relaxed, preserves energy instead of burning it through nervous contraction. The unregulated breath feeds restlessness. The Stoic corrects this through consistency. They train breathing as they would train thought, daily, consciously, with reverence. In moments of solitude, They sit in stillness and observe the breath's path. This observation sharpens focus. The mind stops chasing distraction and begins to mirror the slow rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. The nervous system enters coherence. Peace becomes physiological truth. To breathe deeply is to remind the body that it is safe. Modern life rarely gives such assurance. Constant alerts, noise, and stimulation convince the body of threat. Breath becomes shallow in defense. The Stoic reverses this by deliberate calm. Their slow breathing sends the message of safety back to the brain. This re-education of the body dissolves unnecessary fear. In its place arises a stable energy, a presence that feels both calm and alert. Equanimity also depends on exhalation. The ability to release air mirrors the ability to release attachment. Those who cling even in breath exhaust themselves. The Stoic exhales completely, symbolically letting go of tension, resentment, and expectation. This ritual of release, repeated countless times each day, accumulates into profound stability. Letting go becomes instinct. Their peace is not theoretical, it is practiced in every breath they take. Breathing governs speech. Those who breathe shallowly speak with strain. Those who breathe with control speak with authority. The Stoics' measured breathing shapes their voice into calm resonance. Their words carry steadiness even when discussing turmoil. This composure under communication earns respect without effort. People feel the difference, though they may not understand its cause. Breath transforms sound into command. Equanimity begins where breath lengthens. Every deep breath extends patience, each shallow one shortens it. The Stoic understands this ratio and guards it. When the mind threatens to spiral into haste or irritation, they return to breathing. The cycle of inhale and exhale becomes the wheel that pulls them back to reason. Such discipline transforms breath into weapon, subtle, invisible, undefeated. In meditation, the Stoic merges observation with respiration. They do not attempt to control thoughts directly. They control breath and let the mind follow. Thoughts lose chaos when breath gains rhythm. This practice restores sovereignty. Over years, it alters physiology. The baseline of calm lowers. Resting heart rate decreases. Tension lines fade. Sleep deepens. The visible calm that others admire is not cosmetic. It is trained through a lifetime of measured breathing. The Stoic uses breath during labor as well as rest. In the forge of work, they maintain rhythm. When others pant under stress, they stay steady. Their calm oxygenates the body more efficiently, preventing fatigue. Control of breath transforms endurance from effort to flow. This invisible mastery separates the disciplined from the frantic. The body obeys the breath, and the breath obeys the will. The connection between breath and thought is immediate. A sharp inhale can summon panic. A slow exhale dissolves it. The Stoic practices this awareness like a craftsman tuning an instrument. They can detect when emotion disturbs rhythm and restore it with precision. This subtle awareness becomes instinctive. In crisis, where others collapse into reaction, they remain composed. Their composure appears supernatural, though it is simply mastery of air. Breath connects the human to nature's rhythm. Wind, tide, and pulse share one pattern: rise and fall, intake and release. The Stoic aligns their respiration with this universal motion. To breathe consciously is to participate in the order of existence. In doing so, they dissolve the illusion of separateness. Harmony replaces anxiety. The body, synchronized with nature, heals itself through rhythm. Equanimity also requires awareness of pace. A life lived too fast accelerates decay. The Stoic, through breathing, slows inner tempo. Each inhalation acts as resistance against haste. Each exhalation diffuses urgency. This deliberate deceleration strengthens longevity. Youth is not a number. It is the capacity to remain unhurried while the world races. The slow breath of composure is the true signature of timelessness. The Stoic knows that every breath is borrowed. This awareness creates gratitude. Each inhale is permission to continue. Each exhale, a moment of grace. Gratitude softens the mind. It replaces agitation with reverence. The calm born from this reverence has a visible counterpart, a relaxed expression, a steady gaze. The face of equanimity is sculpted by breath as surely as by will. Anger and anxiety both shorten breath. The Stoic trains against this shortening. They meet provocation with expansion. To inhale deeply when insulted is to win a silent victory. It halts the chemical surge before it can distort thought. Such discipline rewires emotion. Over time, even the impulse to react fades. The breath becomes both armor and medicine, defense against chaos and restoration after it. The rhythm of breathing defines the rhythm of life. Those who live chaotically breathe erratically. The Stoic, ordered in breath, is ordered in everything. Their composure extends from internal physiology outward into demeanor, decision, and destiny. Through breath, they create a state of permanent readiness, relaxed yet alert, calm yet capable. This balance embodies the essence of Stoic vitality. Equanimity in breath extends to silence. The pauses between breaths, like the pauses between thoughts, are sacred. In that stillness lies awareness unbound by motion. The Stoic rests attention there. In the quiet between inhale and exhale, time seems to stop, and consciousness feels infinite. Such glimpses renew faith in order. From them arises serenity that no external force can disturb. Control of breath deepens connection with others. The calm breathing person radiates stability that others unconsciously mirror. Conversations slow, tempers settle, and conflict dissipates. The Stoic's composure becomes contagious. They influence without words, through presence alone. Breath becomes a tool of harmony within human interaction, an invisible teacher of peace. The disciplined breath also purifies focus. It sharpens decision-making by preventing cognitive fog induced by stress. The Stoic uses deliberate breathing before critical choices. The pause of oxygenation clears emotions' haze, allowing reason to lead. Over time, this practice eliminates impulsive errors. Wisdom is born not only from experience, but from the calm intervals between reactions. In moments of exhaustion, the Stoic turns to breath before rest. 3 deep, controlled inhalations can reset the body more effectively than hours of distraction. This simple power is often ignored by those who seek complex cures. Breath is simplicity incarnate, free, immediate, always available. To the disciplined, it is the purest medicine. They require no external substance, only awareness. The breath of equanimity strengthens patience. The Stoic understands that endurance is not force, but continuity. To breathe through difficulty is to outlast it. Each measured breath affirms, "This moment will pass." That knowledge frees the mind from panic. Patience born of breath becomes unshakable. It transforms suffering into stillness, chaos into rhythm, fear into focus. To breathe with purpose is to live with purpose. Every conscious inhalation aligns spirit with intention. The Stoic walks, works, and speaks through breath. They never lose awareness of the rhythm that sustains them. This constancy grants them an aura of timelessness, the rare balance of intensity and serenity. Where others age through strain, they preserve energy through rhythm. The breath of equanimity is the secret pulse of immortality in motion. Chapter 6. The Mind that Refuses Decay. The sharpness of the mind defines the vitality of the body. When thought remains alive, the spirit cannot grow old. The Stoic treats the intellect not as ornament, but as weapon, a blade that must be honed daily against the friction of ignorance. The moment one ceases to learn, corrosion begins. The muscles may weaken with time, but the disciplined mind strengthens with each act of reflection. A body guided by such intellect does not drift toward decay. It moves with direction and clarity. The mind ages when it grows complacent. Familiarity dulls perception. Routine without awareness becomes stagnation. The Stoic refuses this comfort. They approach each day as a student approaches the text, with curiosity, humility, and intent. Their intellect feeds on questions, not conclusions. Through inquiry, they stay awake to existence, and wakefulness itself preserves youth. The one who keeps asking never withers in spirit. Knowledge to the Stoic is not accumulation, but alignment. They study to understand nature's order, not to decorate the ego. Every insight is applied, embodied, lived. This practical wisdom keeps the mind dynamic. In this way, their intelligence remains connected to motion rather than trapped in memory. Static knowledge ages, living understanding renews. Each act of application refreshes neural vitality like blood circulating through thought. Seneca warned that idleness dulls both body and intellect. The Stoic keeps the mind in constant motion, reading, writing, observing, contemplating. They observe human behavior not for judgment, but for insight. Every encounter becomes material for self-study. Reflection sharpens comprehension, comprehension refines action, and action reinforces discipline. The cycle is endless, and within that continuity lies eternal growth. Curiosity is the fountain of renewal. The Stoic mind never concludes it has seen enough. It searches beneath appearances, testing assumptions, peeling away illusion. This effort keeps neurons alive. Mental curiosity releases the same vitality that physical movement does for the body. The one who questions deeply stimulates awareness at the cellular level. Their gaze stays alert, their expression lively. A curious mind cannot appear old. The disciplined intellect thrives on clarity. Confusion is decay, order is youth. The Stoic structures their thought as they structure their environment, organized, purposeful, free of clutter. They do not indulge in mental excess, gossip, fantasy, speculation. These are the toxins of thought. Instead, they cultivate clean logic, deliberate focus, and measured reasoning. This hygiene of the intellect preserves sharpness through decades. Wisdom demands confrontation with discomfort. The Stoic studies suffering as rigorously as joy. They do not flee complexity, they dissect it. Each hardship becomes a text to interpret. Through this mental engagement, they transform pain into knowledge. Avoidance breeds weakness. Analysis breeds fortitude. Their endurance is not Stoic in passivity, but in inquiry. To understand one's suffering is to transcend it, and transcendence renews the spirit. The aging mind fears change. The disciplined mind studies it. The Stoic accepts impermanence not as loss, but as instruction. Each alteration in life teaches adaptation. By learning continuously from change, the Stoic keeps their inner world in evolution. Flexibility of thought prevents rigidity of expression. The adaptable mind remains luminous. The rigid one dims. To bend with reason is to stay young. Reading is ritual. The Stoic does not consume words aimlessly. They read slowly, repeatedly, distilling meaning through reflection. Quality over volume, depth over distraction. Each passage becomes a mirror. In this dialogue between self and wisdom, the mind remains nourished. Great books are not entertainment, they are exercise. The disciplined reader strengthens reason with each sentence, as the athlete strengthens muscle with repetition. Silence becomes the companion of thought. The Stoic spends time in solitude not to withdraw but to deepen perception. In quiet, the mind hears itself. Solitude clarifies noise into insight. The world rushes by in distraction. The Stoic remains still, observing motion without being carried by it. This calm observation allows synthesis, ideas merging into understanding. The quiet mind, free from external interference, renews like a spring undisturbed. The mind that refuses decay demands honesty. Self-deception corrodes faster than time. The Stoic examines motive with precision. Each choice is dissected under the light of reason. Why was it made? What did it serve? What truth did it reveal? This scrutiny polishes awareness. The self-honest mind becomes transparent to itself, without distortion or denial. Transparency restores vitality. Deceit breeds fragmentation. Every day becomes education. The Stoic does not wait for formal learning. Life itself is the academy. Success, failure, conversation, silence, all become subjects. The key lies in observation. By turning awareness into teacher, they ensure no moment is wasted. Learning continuous through experience transforms existence into evolution. The untrained grow older, the aware grow wiser. Wisdom rejuvenates because it integrates, not divides. Memory serves the Stoic as record, not prison. They use the past as reference, never as identity. Recollection guides future conduct without enslaving emotion. By viewing history as data rather than destiny, they avoid nostalgia. The mind that lives backward decays. The mind that learns from history without attachment progresses. This perspective maintains clarity and keeps the intellect forward-facing. Reflection must lead to creation. The Stoic channels learning into contribution, writing, teaching, crafting, mentoring. These acts solidify wisdom into the world. Creativity proves vitality because it converts thought into form. The act of creating keeps energy circulating between mind and reality. Those who continue to build never truly age. Their imagination replenishes itself through effort. The Stoic avoids mental stagnation through challenge. They deliberately practice discomfort, reading difficult texts, solving complex problems, facing criticism. Struggle sharpens comprehension. The mind, like the body, must face resistance to remain alive. Comfort numbs awareness. By choosing difficulty, the Stoic preserves edge. Their intellect remains agile, their perception quick. Aging begins when the will avoids effort. Philosophy to the Stoic is not abstract speculation. It is training. Each doctrine is tested through application. They question, does this belief strengthen discipline? Does it align with nature? Does it reduce fear? Through this trial, false ideas fall away, leaving clarity. Philosophy thus becomes purification, removing ignorance as breath removes carbon. This cleansing process preserves mental integrity through every decade. Observation of nature keeps perspective pure. The Stoic studies patterns in seasons, stars, and the silent logic of change. In witnessing universal rhythm, the mind resets its sense of scale. Anxiety diminishes before vastness. This humility renews intellect. To remember one's smallness is to remain open to learning. The wise never claim finality. They live in wonder. Wonder is the child of knowledge and the parent of vitality. Reason requires balance between logic and perception. The Stoic cultivates both. They analyze with clarity, yet feel without confusion. Emotional intelligence completes rational discipline. To sense deeply while thinking clearly prevents both detachment and chaos. Such balance protects against the dullness of cynicism. The Stoic feels life fully, but interprets it calmly. This dynamic equilibrium sustains intellectual youth. Routine study sharpens perception. Each morning or evening, the Stoic dedicates time to examination of principles. They revisit familiar teachings to measure growth. What was once abstract becomes vivid through lived experience. This continuity of study ensures progress. The same truths appear new under different seasons of life, revealing deeper layers. Renewal through repetition defines the disciplined mind. The Stoic guards against distraction, like the body guards against infection. Idle entertainment, gossip, and aimless consumption weaken focus. Attention is finite. Once scattered, it takes time to restore. The disciplined intellect treats attention as sacred. Where attention goes, life follows. The one who protects their attention protects their youth. Clarity of focus is a rare beauty, and it never fades. Self-education forms the foundation of independence. The Stoic does not wait to be instructed. Curiosity drives their evolution. They learn skills, languages, systems, philosophies. Each mastered subject adds a new lens of perception. These lenses sharpen vision, preventing stagnation of thought. Knowledge pursued voluntarily carries vitality. Imposed learning decays once pressure lifts. Freedom of study keeps curiosity alive. The Stoic mind practices detachment from outcome even in learning. They seek truth, not recognition. This humility keeps perception flexible. The prideful student stops learning once praised. The Stoic continues. Ego is decay in disguise. Humility keeps the vessel empty enough to be filled. The unassuming mind remains young because it is never complete. Silence after insight is essential. The Stoic does not rush to display wisdom. They digest understanding in solitude. Wisdom shown too quickly weakens its depth. The quiet incubation of knowledge allows integration. This patience differentiates insight from opinion. Through measured reflection, the mind grows denser with meaning, like stone formed under pressure. Mental health is a form of hygiene to the Stoic. They do not allow thoughts of envy, resentment, or fantasy to linger. These are pollutants that corrode inner order. Each is examined, understood, and dismissed. The disciplined mind remains uncluttered. From this cleanliness arises peace. Peace is strength in motion, a strength that radiates vitality through calm presence. The mind that refuses decay treats failure as instruction. Mistake is not defeat, but feedback. The Stoic extracts principle from error. This detachment from shame keeps learning active. Failure becomes a natural rhythm of evolution. Those who fear it stagnate. Those who study it advance. Adaptability replaces regret, and adaptability is youth preserved through understanding. To remain curious is to remain alive. The Stoic observes art, science, and human behavior with the same wonder. Nothing is beneath study. Everything is material for wisdom. This openness expands life endlessly. Curiosity widens time's corridor. Each moment feels longer because perception deepens. A curious life does not rush to conclusion. It remains vibrant through fascination. Contemplation becomes exercise. The Stoic dedicates time to deep thought, not mere reaction. They explore questions of morality, fate, and existence. Such reflection expands consciousness. The more the mind contemplates eternal principles, the less it fears change. Fear accelerates aging. Understanding reverses it. The thinker remains serene because they see pattern where others see chaos. Intellectual humility crowns wisdom. The Stoic admits what they do not know. This honesty preserves clarity. Those who pretend to know everything close their eyes to discovery. The open mind remains alert. Each new truth feels like youth rediscovered, a reawakening of awareness. Openness keeps energy circulating through thought, preventing stagnation of certainty. The Stoic resists distraction from purpose. They allocate time to what serves their ideal and discard what does not. This economy of thought mirrors economy of breath. Efficiency replaces excess. Their days become clean lines of purpose, not cluttered mazes of distraction. Clarity of goal strengthens resilience. A focused mind resists decay because it wastes nothing. Wisdom sustains vitality through alignment with reality. Illusion exhausts, truth restores. The Stoic pursues truth even when unpleasant. Acceptance of fact steadies emotion. Illusion fragments energy. Reality consolidates it. The mind anchored in truth does not waver. It carries itself through life as a lighthouse through storm, unchanged, enduring, bright. In every decade, the Stoic renews learning. They do not look back at what they once knew as completion, but as foundation. Each new phase of life demands new perception. To evolve intellectually is to regenerate. The body may age, but the mind reborn through understanding defies decline. Their gaze remains clear because their thoughts never settle. The mind that refuses decay transforms existence into constant study. It perceives every challenge as curriculum, every experience as experiment. This interpretation of life converts aging into ascension. To think clearly is to live freshly. The Stoic ages physically, but not spiritually. Their mind, sharpened through discipline, continues to illuminate existence long after the body's strength fades. In this brilliance lies true immortality, the mind untouched by decay. Chapter 7. The Presence of Purpose. Purpose is the fire that prevents the spirit from cooling into resignation. The Stoic lives by direction, not by drift. A life without purpose collapses inward, aging long before its time. To wake without aim is to surrender to entropy. The one who rises with reason radiates intensity. Their energy organizes itself around mission. Purpose infuses vitality into every gesture, thought, and silence. It burns quietly but perpetually, keeping decay at a distance. Meaning grants structure to time. Without it, hours dissolve into repetition without memory. The Stoic knows that each day must point towards something beyond comfort. They do not seek endless pleasure. They seek endurance in service of value. The act of striving itself rejuvenates the body. Purpose makes fatigue meaningful. It transforms exhaustion into fulfillment. This alchemy of meaning transforms the ordinary into sacred labor. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a person should stand straight, not be held straight. Purpose is the inner column that replaces external discipline. The Stoics' direction is internalized. They do not require applause to continue. The vision they serve fuels perseverance. This self-generated motivation protects against despair. To know one's reason for action is to be immune to confusion. Their stillness hides immense momentum, an energy so ordered it appears calm. The purposeless chase distractions. The purposeful cultivate focus. Each decision passes through the filter of alignment. Does this serve my aim or weaken it? Such clarity refines life into precision. The Stoic trims the unnecessary, conserving strength for what matters. Purpose becomes compass and filter, simplifying existence. In simplicity lies endurance. The person who knows why they act moves efficiently, conserving vitality through direction. Purpose gives posture to emotion. Without it, feelings become rulers. With it, they become servants. Anger, ambition, sorrow, all find place under command. The Stoic channels passion into motion. Their purpose absorbs excess emotion. converting it into productive energy. This transformation stabilizes chemistry, protects the heart, and balances the spirit. They age slowly because their emotions are not wasted, they are harnessed. The presence of purpose can be seen before it is spoken. The way the Stoic walks, listens, and works carries gravity. Each movement implies intention. Their energy field feels directed, deliberate. People sense it and respond with respect. Purpose projects authority without noise. It is the silent force that organizes chaos around it. The one who lives with aim does not need to declare it. Presence reveals alignment. Purpose is not a single goal. It is the integration of values into movement. The Stoic understands that outer missions change, but inner principle remains. Their aim is not tied to success, but to virtue. Whether building an empire or sweeping the floor, they act with the same devotion. This constancy keeps the spirit from collapse when circumstances shift. A person rooted in principle cannot lose purpose. They carry it wherever they stand. To live without purpose is to drift in psychological gravity. The Stoic resists this weight by orienting the self toward contribution. They measure success through usefulness. Each act must benefit something beyond the self. Service converts survival into significance. This external orientation erases vanity and restores proportion. The one who serves without demand of reward finds endless energy because fulfillment replaces fatigue. The purposeful mind sleeps deeply. When one's days align with intention, rest becomes satisfaction. There is no mental residue of regret, no anxiety of wasted hours. The Stoics' routine ends cleanly because their purpose structures action. Each day closes like a completed sentence. This closure grants real peace, the sleep of the aligned. Even in rest, purpose whispers clarity through dreams. Purpose regulates pace. Those without it rush toward distraction. Those with it move rhythmically. The Stoic measures their speed by necessity, not by fear of falling behind. This rhythm conserves stamina. A purposeful life resists the modern epidemic of burnout. Energy follows meaning, exhaustion follows confusion. The more aligned the aim, the more renewable the energy. The Stoic works long, yet rarely appears tired because their labor feeds their essence. Purpose strengthens resilience. When hardship strikes, meaning absorbs the shock. The Stoic does not crumble under difficulty because they see in adversity a test of devotion. Every obstacle becomes a chance to prove sincerity to their mission. This interpretation transforms pain into training. They endure not through denial, but through direction. The mind anchored in meaning cannot be broken. It bends like tempered steel. To lose purpose is to age overnight. The eyes dull, the voice weakens, the step slows. The Stoic preserves youth through relevance. Their purpose adapts with life's seasons. They do not cling to obsolete dreams. They reinterpret duty as circumstances evolve. This adaptation keeps the inner fire supplied with new fuel. A dynamic purpose is immortal. It matures without fading, reshaping itself while preserving essence. Purpose unites the inner and outer worlds. It bridges thought and action, aspiration and deed. The Stoic knows that to intend without execution is self-betrayal. Each day they translate vision into motion. Consistency in action reinforces meaning until it becomes identity. They no longer act for purpose, they act as purpose. This unity between being and doing projects an aura of coherence mistaken for charisma. Meaning defines health. A person who wakes with no reason to act deteriorates regardless of diet or wealth. The Stoics' vitality arises from psychological nutrition, purpose as sustenance. Their blood carries intent, Their breath carries conviction. This internal nourishment restores balance to the entire organism. Science measures hormones. Philosophy measures will. The will disciplined by purpose harmonizes both. The presence of purpose creates immunity to distraction. Noise loses its power when signal is clear. The Stoic no longer chases validation because their aim transcends approval. This freedom from opinion sharpens focus. Their work continues regardless of praise or neglect. The consistency that others call obsession is simply devotion purified of vanity. Their persistence, untouched by external fluctuation, produces timeless results. Purpose transforms solitude from emptiness into laboratory. The Stoic uses alone time to refine direction. They question what is essential, what aligns, what endures. These meditations strengthen aim. In solitude, they realign compass bearings before returning to the world. Isolation becomes calibration, not loneliness. The mind anchored in meaning never feels abandoned. It feels charged by silence. Purpose also orders relationships. The Stoic chooses company that sharpens integrity. They seek those who strengthen focus, not those who dilute it. Each interaction either contributes to the mission or distracts from it. Through this discernment, they preserve moral energy. Association becomes strategy, not sentiment. In surrounding themselves with the disciplined, the Stoic multiplies resolve. Ambition without purpose corrupts. Ambition with purpose elevates. The Stoic distinguishes the two. They pursue achievement not for possession, but for alignment with excellence. Success serves virtue, not vanity. This purification of ambition transforms desire into drive. The world sees calm power. Beneath it burns disciplined intensity. Such directed passion radiates vitality. The purposeful Stoic appears youthful because energy flows unblocked by confusion. The presence of purpose reshapes speech. Words lose hesitation and excess. The Stoic communicates with precision, each sentence carrying direction. Their tone contains quiet conviction, not aggression. Listeners sense sincerity and respond instinctively. Purpose gives weight to voice because it aligns thought and intention. Speech becomes an extension of clarity. Purpose transforms adversity into signal. Where others see failure, the Stoic sees feedback. The mission adjusts, not abandons. This resilience eliminates despair. Failure becomes fuel. Criticism becomes calibration. Their composure through setbacks is often misread as detachment. It is devotion refined through endurance. Each obstacle clarifies, sharpening direction until purpose becomes unbreakable. A purposeful life eliminates boredom. The Stoic never drifts because each moment belongs to something greater. Boredom is the absence of meaning. Meaning dissolves it. Even routine tasks gain significance under purpose. The sweep of a floor, the stroke of a pen, the moment of silence, all become aligned expressions of devotion. This constant engagement keeps spirit alive and expression young. Purpose demands alignment with reality. The Stoic does not chase fantasies. They define purpose within the limits of nature and reason. This realism strengthens endurance. Dreams detached from reality collapse. Aims built on truth endure. Grounded purpose keeps energy consistent. The Stoic advances steadily because they pursue what can be shaped, not imagined. Their calm momentum outlasts the frenzy of the unrealistic. Purpose brings dignity to existence. It replaces fear with resolve, confusion with clarity. The Stoic's life becomes organized architecture, a cathedral built from intention. Each act adds stone to meaning's foundation. Over time, their presence becomes monumental. People sense solidity, continuity, depth. Such gravity does not age. It matures into reverence. The person of purpose carries tranquility into uncertainty. They do not panic when plans shift because meaning transcends method. Strategy can change, principle cannot. This understanding keeps the mind adaptable and calm. To live with purpose is to live beyond circumstance. The external world may alter, but the inner axis remains fixed. Stability in motion creates the illusion of timeless youth. Purpose sharpens memory. The mind remembers what aligns with its mission and discards the irrelevant. This selective recall preserves mental clarity. A scattered memory belongs to a scattered will. The Stoics' retention of essentials gives their speech and thought precision. Focused memory extends vitality by reducing mental clutter. The purposeful cultivate gratitude. Each day becomes evidence of opportunity to serve the mission. Gratitude renews energy, transforming duty into privilege. The Stoic works not from compulsion, but from appreciation of existence itself. To serve purpose is to celebrate life in action. This quiet joy radiates through expression, softening features into calm confidence. The presence of purpose ends fear of mortality. The Stoic who has lived meaningfully does not dread the end. Completion replaces anxiety. When the final breath arrives, it meets a mind that has fulfilled its duty. Until that moment, purpose continues to animate. Meaning renders time irrelevant. The person who lives fully each day already lives beyond the reach of age. Purpose transforms existence into alignment. It integrates every fragment of self into a single direction. The Stoic no longer wrestles with contradiction. Their thoughts, emotions, and actions move together. This cohesion produces peace, the kind of peace that does not dull energy but refines it. A unified life glows with internal order. That glow, unforced and enduring, is the unmistakable presence of purpose, the living face of timelessness. Chapter 8. The Grace of Acceptance. Acceptance is the highest form of strength. The Stoic understands that resistance to what is beyond control wastes the soul's force. To accept does not mean to yield in defeat. It means to align with the rhythm of reality. In that alignment lies serenity. The one who accepts moves in harmony with the inevitable, conserving energy for what can be shaped. Refusal to accept hardens the spirit, ages the face, and exhausts the body. Acceptance restores flow. It returns the mind to equilibrium, the body to ease, and the soul to clarity. The modern mind rebels against impermanence. It clings to control and suffers in proportion to its delusion. The Stoic sees change as law, not tragedy. To expect stability in a world defined by motion is to demand the impossible. Acceptance is the wisdom of fluidity, the decision to move with life rather than against it. The river does not mourn the rock that diverts it. It curves around and continues. The Stoic, like the river, adapts without losing direction. This adaptation is the secret of timeless youth. Resistance tightens the body. It shortens breath, clenches muscle, furrows the brow. The Stoic releases tension through understanding. When they meet loss, they do not fight the fact of it. They focus on their response. They grieve without collapse, reflect without self-pity, continue without complaint. This graceful endurance radiates composure. To others it appears as calm strength. To the Stoic, it is simple obedience to nature. Epictetus taught that freedom begins the moment one learns to distinguish between what depends on us and what does not. Acceptance is the discipline made visible. The Stoic channels energy inward toward will, perception, and action, while releasing the outer world to fate. This balance keeps their emotional climate stable. No storm of circumstance can uproot them, for they have planted their peace in soil that cannot be touched by weather. Acceptance is not passivity, it is clarity. The Stoic acts decisively where choice exists and stands still where it does not. This equilibrium preserves both strength and sanity. Those who fight what cannot be altered dissolve in frustration. Those who adapt preserve force for meaningful labor. Acceptance therefore becomes strategy, not surrender. It transforms adversity into education, chaos into pattern, pain into proof of endurance. The grace of acceptance is visible in silence. Those who truly understand transience speak less about their struggles. Their dignity replaces complaint. They carry their burdens cleanly, without advertisement. This restraint refines their expression into composure. The world reads it as wisdom. It is simply discipline applied to perception. Acceptance shapes posture, tone, and gaze until serenity becomes the natural language of the face. When the Stoic loses something dear, they remind themselves it was never theirs in permanence. All things are lent by nature and reclaimed by time. This remembrance dissolves bitterness. Gratitude replaces grievance. In gratitude, the heart remains open. Such openness softens features, brightens eyes, and restores vitality. Those who resent life's terms grow rigid. Those who accept them remain luminous. Acceptance is the hidden youth of the soul. The untrained confuse acceptance with indifference. The Stoic knows the difference. Indifference is the absence of care. Acceptance is the presence of understanding. One detaches through apathy, the other through awareness. The Stoic feels fully, but their feelings do not overthrow reason. They know sorrow, but sorrow passes through them like wind through branches, felt, heard, but never breaking. Their strength is tenderness governed by insight. Acceptance governs aging itself. The Stoic does not fight time, they study it. They treat each stage of life as a new terrain of mastery. Youth trains ambition, maturity trains endurance, old age trains perspective. To resist this sequence is to war with nature. To flow with it is to remain in rhythm with the universe. That rhythm grants peace, and peace manifests as beauty untouched by desperation. Control is an illusion that drains vitality. The Stoic relinquishes what cannot be commanded and commands what can. This clarity protects against exhaustion. The modern pursuit of constant optimization, youth without aging, success without rest, pleasure without pause, creates internal chaos. The Stoic rejects this madness. Acceptance returns them to balance. In that balance, the body relaxes and the mind sharpens. Acceptance turns regret into reflection. The one who dwells on past errors decays under the weight of what cannot be changed. The Stoic learns, adapts, and releases. The lesson remains. The burden dissolves. This process renews energy. They live in the present with the precision of someone unchained. The absence of regret lightens their expression. Nothing ages faster than self-reproach. Acceptance removes it at the root. Equanimity arises from acceptance. Those who insist on control live in perpetual turbulence. Those who accept flow through difficulty with composure. The Stoics' calm during adversity is not denial, it is mastery of expectation. They do not demand that life be easy. They demand only that they remain strong. This realism grants invulnerability. To expect storms is to never be surprised by them. Such readiness breeds quiet confidence. Acceptance teaches humility. The Stoic recognizes their scale within the cosmos. They are part of a vast order, not its ruler. This awareness erases arrogance and invites reverence. Humility conserves energy. Pride wastes it in defense of illusion. The humble face ages slower because it carries less tension. Acceptance softens the ego's grip until serenity becomes instinct. Resistance corrodes connection. The one who cannot accept blames others for every discomfort. The Stoic releases blame as they release control. They see that everyone moves according to their understanding. Judgment turns to observation, anger to patience. This shift purifies relationships. Acceptance allows love to mature into respect. The peaceful person becomes magnetic, their calm a refuge for the restless. To accept fate is to reclaim power. The Stoic practices what Cleanthes called willing cooperation with necessity. They follow fate not as prisoner, but as partner. By saying yes to the inevitable, they transform coercion into choice. This shift of perspective is liberation. A mind that agrees with reality cannot be defeated by it. Agreement with truth creates serenity that time cannot corrode. Acceptance transforms suffering into art. Pain endured with understanding refines character. The Stoic does not dramatize adversity. They sculpt it into meaning. Their composure becomes testimony that the human spirit can remain graceful under pressure. This elegance of endurance outlives circumstance. People call it resilience, but it is simpler than that. It is the beauty of alignment with what is. Acceptance protects health. Emotional resistance floods the body with tension and chemicals of distress. The Stoic breathes through acceptance, restoring balance to the nervous system. Peace becomes physiology. Their pulse steadies, digestion improves, sleep deepens. The visible calm others admire is the biological signature of surrender to what cannot be changed. The practice of acceptance begins with observation. The Stoic watches reaction arise, fear, anger, disappointment, and then examines its cause. Through understanding, emotion dissolves. Each observation strengthens detachment. Detachment does not mean coldness. It means clarity. The clear mind feels deeply but acts wisely. This wisdom becomes posture, composure, and grace. Acceptance simplifies ambition. The Stoic works with effort, but without obsession. They aim for excellence, not perfection. Perfection belongs to gods. Progress belongs to humans. The acceptance of limitation is the birth of peace. It allows joy to coexist with imperfection. The one who accepts their humanity glows with calm authenticity. The pursuit of flawlessness ages the face. The acceptance of reality preserves it. Acceptance also governs speech. The Stoic speaks only what serves truth. They waste no words complaining about what is unchangeable. This restraint refines language into power. When they speak, their tone carries conviction and tranquility. The absence of complaint grants authority. People listen because they sense equilibrium behind the words. To accept is to forgive. The Stoic forgives not from naivety, but from recognition that holding anger is self-harm. Forgiveness releases both sides from the tyranny of resentment. It restores lightness. The forgiven mind breathes easily, and the body follows. In forgiveness, the Stoic preserves youth of spirit, the freshness of one who has let go. Acceptance transforms fear of loss into gratitude for experience. The Stoic appreciates moments precisely because they are transient. The sunset's beauty depends on its ending, the song's power on its final note. Awareness of impermanence intensifies appreciation. This heightened presence revitalizes perception. Those who live in gratitude for passing moments appear ageless because they are always awake to wonder. The grace of acceptance culminates in harmony with death. The Stoic does not chase immortality. They prepare for closure with calm. Death, they say, is part of the contract of existence. To fear it is to fear the completion of order. By accepting mortality, they transcend it. Each day becomes fuller because none are promised. The acceptance of death renews life. Acceptance refines every virtue: patience, humility, resilience, compassion. Each grows from the soil of surrender to what is real. The Stoic who practices acceptance lives without friction. Their energy flows where it belongs, into action, understanding, and peace. They age gracefully because they have ceased to fight the inevitable. Their calm face, steady hands, and clear gaze reveal what philosophy perfects: the grace of acceptance, the stillness that survives all storms. Chapter 9. The Radiance of Gratitude. Gratitude is the quietest expression of strength. The Stoic regards it not as sentiment, but as perception aligned with truth. To see the world clearly is to see that nothing is owed, and therefore everything is a gift. The ungrateful live in constant deprivation. The grateful live in abundance, regardless of circumstance. Gratitude is wealth without currency, peace without possession, and youth without denial. It preserves vitality because it turns every breath into sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning to reflect on the privilege of being alive, to breathe, to think, to love. This reminder anchors the Stoic in awareness. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into affirmation. When the mind stops expecting perfection and begins recognizing value, the nervous system relaxes. Stress dissolves under acknowledgement. The heart rate steadies, the body opens, and the eyes regain clarity. The grateful face glows because tension has left it. Gratitude begins where entitlement ends. The Stoic knows that nothing in life is permanent, not wealth, not health, not praise. Therefore, every kindness, every sunrise, every conversation is worthy of reverence. They receive these things fully without assumption. This receptivity restores sensitivity to beauty. Those who complain lose sight of it. Those who thank perceive it everywhere. Such perception renews youth, for wonder is its eternal companion. The ungrateful mind corrodes itself through comparison. It measures life against illusions and always finds lack. The Stoic measures nothing. They evaluate by principle, not envy. This perspective transforms existence into sufficiency. Satisfaction stabilizes biochemistry. The body no longer rides waves of craving and disappointment. Equilibrium becomes default. To live in equilibrium is to remain unaged by turmoil. Gratitude expands the mind. The one who practices it perceives interconnection in all things. They understand that every benefit arises from unseen labor, every breath from the generosity of nature. This awareness dissolves arrogance. Humility replaces judgment. The Stoic thanks even adversity, for it trains the soul. In this inversion, hardship becomes teacher, and gratitude becomes endurance transformed into insight. Gratitude refines speech. The Stoic speaks of what is good more often than what is wrong. Their tone carries appreciation instead of complaint. This habit shifts their social atmosphere. People feel safe near them because gratitude softens presence. It makes energy inviting, not demanding. The calm tone of appreciation lowers conflict, nurtures cooperation, and builds quiet influence. Gratitude is charisma without pretense. The practice of gratitude repairs perception. Modern life floods awareness with scarcity, advertisements, ambitions, competition. The Stoic counteracts this conditioning by daily remembrance of what already exists. They begin and end the day with reflection on what endures: breath, thought, companionship, the opportunity to live in reason. This simple ritual reprograms attention. Focus moves from absence to presence, from noise to clarity. The result is peace, the rare peace of contentment. Gratitude restores proportion. The Stoic sees that minor inconveniences fade beside the magnitude of existence. A delay, an insult, a loss. Each becomes small under the vastness of fortune. The grateful mind zooms out, reorienting emotion to reality. This shift preserves energy that would otherwise be spent on complaint. Energy saved becomes vitality retained. Gratitude is conservation of strength through perception. The grateful mind is immune to envy. To be grateful is to recognize one's portion as complete. Comparison cannot survive acknowledgement. The Stoic admires others without bitterness. They understand that success in one does not diminish potential in another. This harmony neutralizes inner conflict. A peaceful mind slows the aging of both thought and body, the envious wrinkle, the grateful glow. Gratitude deepens presence. The Stoic inhabits each moment completely because they know its impermanence. They do not rush toward future or mourn past. Awareness becomes immersion. The mind anchored in the present loses anxiety about what could be taken or missed. This stillness preserves mental youth. Anxiety withers energy. Gratitude replenishes it. Gratitude transforms material simplicity into richness. The Stoic may live with few possessions, yet each item is valued as though irreplaceable. This intensity of appreciation fills absence with fullness. The simple meal becomes feast. The humble shelter becomes sanctuary. Abundance is not quantity, it is quality of attention. Attention sharpened by gratitude perceives wealth where others see lack. The physiology of gratitude is unmistakable. It lowers tension, steadies breath, and restores coherence between heart and mind. The Stoic's composure is often mistaken for detachment, but beneath it flows quiet joy. Gratitude regulates the chemistry of existence. It converts survival into harmony. This internal balance radiates outward, forming the subtle aura of serenity others call youth. To the Stoic, gratitude is active. It demands demonstration through conduct. They repay kindness with effort, opportunity with diligence, life itself with virtue. Gratitude that does not move is sentiment. Gratitude that acts is character. Action completes acknowledgement. Through this, the Stoic builds an unspoken relationship with fate, one of mutual respect. Fate gives, the Stoic honors. This balance sustains dignity. Gratitude fortifies relationships. Those who feel appreciated remain calm. Those who are ignored become defensive. The Stoic recognizes this and cultivates acknowledgement as discipline. They thank through behavior more than words, through patience, attention, reliability. Gratitude transforms social exchange from transaction to communion. The aging born of resentment disappears in the light of mutual respect. The grateful person perceives beauty in imperfection. They understand that cracks in life's surface let meaning show through. A scar becomes memory, not flaw. An ending becomes transformation, not loss. Gratitude rewrites perception of flaw into texture. This reinterpretation replaces dissatisfaction with depth. Depth preserves vitality because it replaces restlessness with understanding. Gratitude protects against despair. When the world seems uncertain, acknowledgement of even one good thing stabilizes the heart. The Stoic uses gratitude as anchor. They list silently what remains: breath, reason, opportunity to act. From this seed grows courage. Gratitude does not erase pain, it contextualizes it. To know there is still good amid hardship keeps hope alive, and hope sustains youth. The practice of gratitude sharpens ethics. Those who recognize gifts naturally seek to become worthy of them. The Stoic acts honorably, not from pride, but from appreciation of existence. Gratitude turns morality into expression of respect. Every virtuous act becomes a thank you to the world. This integrity aligns intention and action. Alignment breeds calm, calm breeds strength. Gratitude is a teacher of patience. The Stoic does not demand immediate reward. They understand that value matures in silence. Seeds grow unseen beneath soil. Gratitude for the unseen prevents frustration. This patience slows the inner clock. Impatience ages the spirit. Patience rejuvenates it. The grateful mind moves with the tempo of nature itself. Gratitude and humility intertwine. The one who gives thanks acknowledges dependence. They realize their place in a vast network of causes and effects. This realization dissolves ego. Ego stiffens expression. Humility relaxes it. The soft face of gratitude reflects acceptance of connection. The Stoic's calm radiance arises from this humility, an elegance rooted in awareness of unity. Gratitude renews creativity. A grateful mind sees possibility where others see repetition. Inspiration flows from recognition. Every detail of life becomes material for expression. This constant engagement with wonder revitalizes imagination. The Stoic creates not to escape reality, but to honor it. Creation under gratitude is reverence in motion. Even in solitude, gratitude provides company. The Stoic alone is never lonely. They converse with existence itself. Each sound, each sensation becomes dialogue. The wind through leaves is heard as reminder of life's continuity. Such communion with nature refreshes perception. Awareness expands until isolation dissolves into belonging. This sense of unity eradicates existential fatigue. Gratitude directs ambition. The Stoic strives not out of deficiency, but out of respect for potential. They build because they can, not because they must prove worth. This orientation prevents burnout. Ambition powered by gratitude sustains. Ambition driven by insecurity drains. The grateful worker glows with steady energy. Their effort feels graceful because it stems from sufficiency, not hunger. To live in gratitude is to carry peace into motion. The Stoic walks through the world acknowledging each detail: the sunlight on stone, the scent of rain, the breath that continues. These recognitions accumulate into serenity. Anxiety cannot coexist with awareness of blessing. The more the mind thanks, the less it fears. The result is radiance that no artifice can mimic. Gratitude strengthens faith in order. The Stoic sees evidence of structure in every recurrence of dawn. They trust that even misfortune holds design. This faith eliminates panic. To believe in order is to live without dread. Fear accelerates aging. Trust slows it. The grateful mind trusts because it sees meaning in motion. Gratitude perfects acceptance. It is not only peace with what is, it is joy in it. The Stoic who masters gratitude no longer measures conditions, they celebrate them. Joy becomes endurance. A smiling spirit heals itself. The body responds to this inner affirmation with vitality. Gratitude is not emotional decoration, it is biochemical harmony. The radiance of gratitude completes all other virtues. It refines simplicity, strengthens routine, steadies breath, sharpens mind, and anchors purpose. Gratitude is the sunlight that reveals the form of every discipline. It turns restraint into peace, detachment into presence, and understanding into joy. The Stoic who lives in gratitude appears timeless because they live beyond loss. Each day arrives as a gift. Each moment glows as enough. In this recognition lies the secret of youth eternal, the radiance of gratitude, the light of harmony made visible.